Hey, welcome to the Tod Tucker Show. I've been tied down for the last few days by a bunch of hot nurses in a bed.
Nice.
Big time conservative retreat this past weekend. Glad to be back with you. Thank you for joining us on the Oklahoma Taxpayers Unite Facebook page, also the Tod Tucker Show Facebook page, and my personal page as well. We got big things coming ahead, so get ready, Frosty. We're going to roll kind of like Florence, an unwelcome guest off the Carolina coast, and Florence is doing what hurricanes do, kind of moving around back and forth, kind of like what Harvey did last year. And Florence is going to be a beast, and we need to pray for our friends over in the Carolinas as they prepare for this major hurricane. 80-foot waves expected, 125-mile-per-hour winds. The president met with his FEMA director and also the Department of Homeland Security secretary yesterday. And so it was a pretty good meeting as they prepare for Florence to take off here in just it's going to go on shore. In fact, it's just kind of wavering in and out. But the people in Carolina, I've got a friend who has a daughter and grandchildren who live out there. Prayers go to them as they have they've taken their trampoline and their lawn furniture. They've got it tied down, and I'm not sure you can tie anything down from 125-mile-per-hour winds. But anyway, glad you're with us today. Like I said, 80-foot waves off the Carolina coast, and the administration is ready. In the meantime, yesterday, as the president was briefing on Hurricane Florence, of course, a member of the leftist media asked him a question that didn't pertain to anything that had to do with Florence, and he jumped on their back about it, and good for him. Boy, that's not a time for politics at all. All right, speaking of Donald Trump, America is great again. We've got brand new numbers, middle-class income at an all-time high for the first time. The U.S. Census Bureau says that median income is at $61,372 per year for the middle class. That makes me very lower class now. Frosty?
We're pretty lower class.
We're no longer considered anywhere close to the middle class.
We are pretty lower class.
Now, at the same time, the United States has, guess who the largest oil exporter is now? The global crude oil producer, the largest in the world, no longer Saudi Arabia. It's now the United States of America. We are now exporting more crude oil than anybody else in the world. Way to go, Donald Trump. And CO2 emissions, and you're not going to hear anybody from the media talk about this either. CO2 emissions are down 2 years in a row, while the rest of the world, they're going up. So all you global warming fanatics, where are you? Why aren't you praising the fact that emissions in the United States are down? They just don't like to report good news when it comes to the Trump administration at all. All right, so what do you think? Comment on Facebook right now. As we are on Facebook Live, we welcome your comments. Now, former President Jim McConnell, number 39, he is fearing that Democrats are moving too far to the left. I think they've already gone. He says they're scaring off moderates, and he's right. And as they send Bathhouse Barry out on the campaign trail this fall, they just continue to veer further and further and further to the left. Further to the left. They're going to hit that wall at some point. It is just amazing. And when you've got Jimmy Carter, who was considered liberal for his time, Jimmy Carter is a conservative by today's standards, by the way. Nowhere close to what Bamster and Hillary and Elizabeth Warren, Pocahontas and Kamala Harris and all these other leftists, Cory Booker, Chuck Schumer, Maxine Waters, the poster child for the Democratic Party, Nancy Pelosi, and all the rest of those characters. They continue to go left, while a former Democratic president is saying that he fears that Democrats are moving way far away from moderates, and they are. And when you've got middle-class numbers like they are right now with President Trump, when you've got the United States exporting more oil, when you've got lower taxes than in many, 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 many years, the biggest tax cut since Reagan, when you've got the economy booming and keeping up with the rate of inflation, I don't see that anybody with a brain that's a moderate would want to see anybody go further left. We tried the socialist, the leftist policies of Bathhouse Barry, and fortunately he's gone now. And a Drudge story today is talking about the fact that Barack Obama is no longer motivating voters. They are sending him out on the campaign trail And he's not motivating Democrats anymore. He's motivating the GOP. Every time Bathhouse Barry goes out and speaks, it only motivates the base of the Republican Party. And it motivates moderates, the blue state Democrats who voted for Donald Trump in 2016 as we prepare for 2017 or 2020. Also, 2020 is, they're predicting that Generation Z will be voting for Donald Trump. Bob Danny says that the DNC is nothing but becoming a left fascist party of hating the United States. You're absolutely right. And the Colin Kaepernick ad made me want to vomit this weekend. And I haven't burned my Nike gear. I'm not going to. I haven't burned my Jordan gear. I'm not going to. Because, you know, let Nike do what Nike does. At some point, they're going to realize that was a bad business decision. And speaking of business, the brand new iPhone is out. As if the X wasn't a big enough fail. You know, when the iPhone X came out, the iPhone 8 came out as well. And the guy told me at the cell phone store, he said, I wouldn't get the X because they're already having problems with it. And that was before they had the massive launch. It was just kind of, you know, they're coming out in trickles. And he said, people are already having problems with the facial recognition features and all that stuff that goes along with the X. I wouldn't get the X. Well, now, you know, they stopped producing the X. You've got the XS Max now coming out at $1,100. Now, I learned the hard way, never buy an iPhone the first year it's launched. Let them work the kinks out. It's kind of like when a new car changes its body style and things. They say wait a year and then buy. More so with the iPhone. Now, Apple stock is growing right now because it always does with the launch of a brand new product, especially an iPhone. And as we take a look at this, not only has the XS Max been released, but also the XS and the XR. I don't know what the prices are of those, but the XS Max, I'm assuming, is, you know, and they had problems in China with the X because they were having problems. And this is something that is not an Archie Bunker Chinese joke. They were really having problems in China with the facial recognition of the iPhone X. That was one of the problems that they were having. Somebody's cousin or brother or sister could look into the phone and it would unlock. I guess the X is saying people look the same. I don't know. I'm just saying.
Those racist iPhones.
Yeah, those racist iPhones.
Racist iPhones.
Racist iPhone.
We need to burn iPhones for being racist.
Yeah, that's right. Call it Nike and Apple because your phone is racist. You are discriminating against Asian people. All right. Now, let's go down to the border. The U.S.-Mexico border. Family arrivals are surging right now on the U.S.-Mexico border. In 2017, or actually these are new numbers, 15,955 to be exact, are flooding into the border. These are family units. These are not individuals. At the same time, 2017, Department of Homeland Security data shows that only 1.4% of family units are being sent back. Okay, Democrats, why aren't you reporting on that? You're talking about how heartless Donald Trump is and sending all these people back to Mexico or back where they came from, yet only last year 1.4% were sent back. This is ridiculous. These are family units, by the way. Hard to believe, but the Halloween candy's already out. Have you noticed the Halloween stores are starting to open? The old Toys R Us at Kilpatrick Turnpike and Penn, they're turning it into a Halloween store. It still says Toys R Us on the building, but they're opening a Halloween store. Halloween candy and Christmas stuff is already up. I mean, they're already putting Christmas stuff up in the stores. It is like Christmas is starting in June from now on, I think.
You got to get ready for it, man. It'll be sold out.
We're going to be ready. Amazon will be shipping 7-foot Christmas trees this holiday season. So not only do you not have to go and pick up a tree, Amazon will deliver it for you. Pretty cool, eh? We're getting to be a lazy bunch of people. We just call us the Trumps or any other administration because they have their big Christmas trees delivered to the White House, so now you can have one delivered to your house. That's coming to Amazon really, really soon. All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, I've got some polling numbers for the gubernatorial race in Oklahoma and other races. We'll go over those when we come back. This is the Tod Tucker Show Hump Day Edition. Back after this. Hey, welcome back to the Tod Tucker Show. By the way, I want to thank you for helping us break a record. Frosty, on Friday when we had the OPP guys in here, we broke a record. Our record was 1.4, 1.6 thousand people that were views. We had 5.1 thousand people on Friday. This is quite an experiment that we're putting on here, and it's working really well. You know, on the radio, I think we got maybe 300 at the most. And since we've gone to Facebook, I mean, thanks to you and thanks for sharing the page and having people like it and having people watch, we are breaking records. People are coming to us wanting to advertise. And as you come in, we're going to continue to grow. And we thank you for that. We've got a YouTube channel that's going to be coming really, really soon as well. And some other fun stuff Frosty's working on. Here comes Frosty. He's dressed up for work. Get ready. Get ready. Frosty's all dressed up today.
I'm always dressed up. We actually already have a YouTube page right now. I'm doing it for, all our videos are going through OTU right now. So it's at OTU Media, and that's your YouTube page.
OTU Media, so if you want to watch us on YouTube, you can do that. You can watch us tonight on the big screen.
That's it.
Yeah.
We track everything there. Everything just rolls straight over. So
right.
It's just everything we do in the live stream just goes on YouTube.
And I mean, that's amazing. 5.1 thousand people watched on Friday, and I'm going to give credit to the OPP guys, not to us, because what they're doing is phenomenal work. And they're going to be on with us showing a video every single week. So we want to thank those guys for their hard work.
They want to do it every week?
No, I mean every month. Apologize.
It's a once-a-month thing.
I told you I was tied up by nurses all weekend. It was awesome.
OPP guys are great. They're very busy, though, catching child predators. So
I didn't want to go home.
They want to come in every month and hang out with us.
Yeah, they do. So we're going to have those guys in every month, and they're going to have swag and stuff we'll be giving away. So we're pretty excited about having the OPP guys. OPP, yeah, you know me. It's Oklahoma Predator Prevention.
That's it.
And you can also follow them on, I think they've got a YouTube channel now.
Yeah. I'll go and find it.
Okay, that's awesome. And we'll make sure that we keep giving them some shout outs. Shout outs. What? Okay, a News 9 poll is out today, and as you know, the gubernatorial race is just a couple of months away. It's already the first part of September, less than a couple of months away, until we'll be electing our brand new governor. And in the News 9 Sooner Politics poll, with Bill Shepard, he does great polling. He does some of the most accurate polling. In fact, the most accurate polling in Oklahoma for sure. And Kevin Stitt is leading Drew Edmondson. It's a statistical dead heat right now. 46.6% for Stitt, 44.2% for Edmondson. But if you take a look at statewide, the other offices such I'm pretty pumped about that. So, Steve Russell, congratulations, Mr. Congressman, and we hope to have you in really, really soon. But let's take a look at these numbers. Now, right now, statistical dead heat, the governor's race could go either way at this point. But with the unpopularity of Governor Fallin, who's a sitting GOP governor, it's pretty good. Stitt's in a pretty good position right now, because usually people are going to be going in the other direction if they're not happy with who's occupying the office right now. And so as we take a look at this, I think Stitt benefited greatly by his runoff with Mick Cornett because it gave him more time to become a higher profile person, to become better known, and to get his name out there. And so people are saying mic check. Are we having
we're good.
people? Okay, all right. I don't know where we left off.
Just keep going.
Okay. Anyway, so Kevin Stitt, in case you missed it, leading Drew Edmondson right now, statistical dead heat within that 3-point margin of error, 46.6 to Edmondson's 44.2. Statewide, the GOP has at least an 18-point lead, so that means Matt Pinnell's in great shape, Mike Hunter's in great shape, and it's probably going to trickle up to the top of the ticket as well. So we'll find out, but if you haven't registered to vote yet, make sure you do so because the deadline is a month before the election starts, so I'd go ahead and get on it right now. Get on it and vote. I want to backtrack a little bit and talk about hurricanes and what's going on with Florence. Everybody's talking about it. I've been listening to some music on Sirius XM today, kind of flipping through the channels. Everybody's talking about Florence, and not Florence Henderson, the Brady Bunch's mom. She's dead. But we're talking about that hurricane out there, the monster off the Carolina coast, and people are bracing for that storm. I've been in situations where we braced for hurricanes before. They are not fun. They're not fun. Imagine going to your tornado shelter because you've got isolated, thunderstorms and tornado warnings here and there. When you're about to be impacted by a hurricane, it's going to impact your entire community, which means everybody's got to prepare. There are no storm shelters in hurricane-prone areas because of flooding and everything. So you really have no place to go except to leave. And when you evacuate, you're in all kinds of traffic or to ride out the storm. I'm not sure I'd be riding out Florence because when they're talking about 80-foot waves and winds at 125 miles per hour, that's going to be really destructive, especially Hilton Head and some of those areas where some of those resorts are and where people live. So we'll keep you posted on what's going on, but the administration is ready, FEMA's ready, and the Department of Homeland Security prepared for this storm. In the meantime, Puerto Rico last year was hit by two, not one, but two storms. As the president said, it's very difficult to react to a storm like in Puerto Rico because it's on an island. And so it's hard to get ships with all these supplies in, whereas like with the Carolinas or Florida or anywhere on the mainland, you're able to send trains, trucks, all of that in. And with and the latest from Puerto Rico, get this, they talked about what an awful job the administration did in taking care of Puerto Rico, yet they already had an outdated electrical grid that was already gone, shot. They were not well prepared for these storms at all. And you're also looking at the delay, as I said, because of shipping and getting supplies in. Now, get this. The government of Puerto Rico hoarded thousands of cases of bottled water instead of giving it to their people. So these people are complaining about the Trump administration, yet the governor of that state and other people are responsible for hoarding bottled water at a time when their citizens needed it most. It's not Donald Trump's fault. Not Donald Trump's fault at all. It's the fault of the government of Puerto Rico. And so we're going to be well prepared. I'm very, very confident that we're going to be prepared for Florence, although hurricanes are never, ever, ever a good thing. So our prayers are that Florence just kind of skirts up the coast and goes out into the Atlantic. There are other storms out as well. Hurricane season's kind of late coming, kind of a late bloomer this year. As we're starting to cool off and get ready for fall, hurricane season's kind of in full swing. Speaking of fall, Frosty, I'm sure you watched the OU game Saturday.
Of course.
Of course you did. Now, what player was injured? Which running back? He was a big time at the top of the list for Heisman Trophy. Do you know his name?
No.
Oh, his name is Rodney Anderson, and he's out for the season. Yes, Rodney Anderson. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
It sounds like a football player.
Injured his knee. Well, Rodney Anderson sounds like it. So if anybody's named Rodney Anderson out there, you're probably a football player.
I'll take a bet that says if your name is Rodney Anderson, you've probably played football.
Let's do a little quiz here. Who's the head coach of Oklahoma?
I know this one. Lincoln Ripley. Lincoln Ridley.
Close. Lincoln Riley.
That's it.
Who's the former coach?
He's a Gundy, right? Was it a Gundy?
No, the mullet is at Oklahoma State. Now, OU has a Gundy, but they have the good Gundy, not the weird, obnoxious hillbilly Gundy that has the mullet and the wild hair that is 50 years old but acts like he's 20.
I don't know. Who was it? I don't care.
Bob Stoops.
I don't. Good. It's the Stoops. I don't care. It's just football. Nobody cares about football.
Nobody cares
Nobody
about football.
cares about
Nobody cares about football. Nobody, according to Frosty. Nobody in Oklahoma cares about football.
It's dumb sport for dumb people.
As I was explaining to the nurses this weekend, and I did have the nurse who continued to come into my room to check the score. She was really cute. You would have liked her. She was sweet. Okay. And we were talking about football and about Oklahoma football in particular, and she was all excited and everything. But yet nobody, according to Frosty, in Oklahoma cares about football. Yet everybody was coming into my room to check the score.
Nobody cares.
Nobody cares. Just like nobody listens.
That's it.
Nobody watches. That's why it's the Tod Tucker Nobody Club. So Amazon shipping Christmas trees. We're backtracking because I don't know where we lost audio in this. 7-foot Christmas trees are going to be shipped to your door. Frosty, will you take advantage of that? Or do you prefer to do the Clark Griswold thing and go out and shop for your Christmas tree?
Okay, here, I guess I'm just going to hang out with you all broadcast.
You don't have to.
I can't. They can't hear me over there. If they want Frosty,
they can hear you. You're loud.
I've got to be right in their face, frostinating everything. You know,
okay.
See what I'm saying? Like the frosted tips, everything's got to be frosted.
Right.
Yes, I would totally buy a 7-foot Christmas tree off Amazon if it was like $20.
Okay.
It depends on how cheap.
I don't think you have 7-foot ceilings.
Well, let me ask this. At what point does it become more expedient to buy a Christmas tree off Amazon than going to get one? Like, at what price point? Like, if it's $50 and they'll deliver it straight to your house, I would get a 7-foot Christmas tree. For $200, probably not. I'd rather just, go and tear up some leaves and just put presents under that. I don't care. I don't care. I haven't had a tree in years. Like, it's just stupid to me.
Just like nobody cares about football.
Nobody cares about football. Everybody's getting Amazon trees, and Democrats are winning. A blue wave. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you.
Who's the new face of Jordan, by the way? The Jordan brand in basketball. We covered this.
Oh, you're talking about
Oklahoma, obviously, $70 million is what Oklahoma Athletics received to switch to the Nike Jordan brand. $70 million. Oklahoma's one of 4 football teams or athletic programs that have switched to the Jordan brand. But I'm wondering.
What, Colin Kaepernick? Is that what you're talking about?
No, Colin Kaepernick is the anti-American,
But he's sponsored by Nike.
Yeah, that wears socks that portray police officers as pigs and things. Yeah, no, not him. It's somebody from close to here. And he's going to make a crap load of money, crap ton of money. It's one of Michael Jordan's favorite basketball players. Probably got to be his favorite because he's paying the guy a ton of money.
The guy for the Thunder.
That leaves it wide open.
Is it Westbrook?
Yeah. Yes, yeah. Well, would everybody give Frosty a love, a round of applause?
I know the buzzwords, okay? I don't know. I couldn't tell you anybody else on that team, but everybody knows Westbrook. I knew Mayweatherfield for the longest time because I had to know who he was.
Yeah, Mayweatherfield plays for Cleveland now.
Baker Mayweatherfield.
Yeah. Okay.
I learned his name.
Yeah. Well, close, but no cigar. All right, beautiful Brooke's going to join us when we come back. We're going to take a break. The Tod Tucker Show continues with Brooke McGowan. The set just got prettier. We'll be right back.
Do you have problems with pain, anxiety, or sleeplessness? Come see us at Can Help Wellness, where we can help. Stop by any of our 4 wellness centers to find out how premium CBD products can help you find relief. From balms to tinctures to even products for your pets. Natural, safe, organic relief and lab tested with certifications. Reach out to one of our wellness consultants today at 405-455-3012 or online at cann-help.com.
Conservative sister from another mister, you go.
Hey guys, welcome. I'm so glad to be back, but right now we want to tell you quickly about the Patreon page for OTU Media. We're creating news, commentary, live streams, special reports, and interviews. Visit us at the Patreon page. If you'd like to join, please sign up. Thank you so much.
Hey, Brooke, did you see where middle class income is at $61,372?
Wow.
And you were driving, so you don't know who the largest global crude oil producer is now.
No, who's that?
The United States.
Ah, cool.
And you missed Jimmy Carter is fearing the Democrats are moving too far and pushing moderates away.
Yeah, well, obviously.
And you missed the fact that Obama is not motivating Democrats, he's motivating Republicans.
Nice.
And you missed the fact that Kevin Stitt is leading Drew Edmondson, and Republicans statewide have at least an 18-point lead.
Oh, it's no question.
Yeah, there you go.
Nice.
And you missed the fact that Steve Russell is now the National Security Oversight Chairman of the House.
Very good. Could you put me in the spot a little bit?
Are you not? Here, let's just rotate.
She's taking my name away. Bye.
Well, your face.
I'll move away. I'll go away.
Yeah, we don't need you.
You go now. Bye-bye.
Just want to be in the shot a little.
Go ahead, Brooke.
What you
got today? Hey, by the way, my dad says hello, Brooke.
Hi, how are you, Mr. Tucker? Am I supposed to call him Tucker
Bob,
or
just call him Bob.
Hey, Bob, how are you? Glad you could join us. I have missed you, Todd.
I missed you.
You've been gone way too long.
I was tied down to a bed with a bunch of pretty nurses. It was awesome.
Wow. Well, I'm glad you're back.
Me too.
Whips and chains and everything.
It was
Well,
real
Oklahoma
kinky.
City needs you, so I'm glad to see you back.
Thank you. It's good to be back.
OTU needs you. It's been quite interesting as the times have progressed on since we've had the runoff from the primary August 28th, I believe. A lot has come to light about Oklahoma's deep state. And I think we're going to be seeing some serious stuff coming out. My sources tell me that there is a national article highlighting the deep state of Oklahoma, and that in a lot of cases you're going to find Republican leadership right there in the spotlight.
Who'd have thought?
Yep. So brace yourselves.
Any political consultants in this?
Probably.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Definitely a couple of PACs, because what we saw with the Conservative Alliance PAC you heard me speak about before, we had $750,000 infused into the Conservative Alliance PAC. Behind that's a DC PAC, so you can't go to ethics, the Guardian system, Oklahoma ethics, and find that, but you can go to the FEC and find it. And the people that have put money into that, this is called dark money PACs. I'm sure you're aware. People who put money into that was Prosperity Alliance LLC, and Conservative Alliance and Prosperity Alliance had a lawsuit and were sued and kicked out of Ohio for bad actions up there, and then they behaved badly here in Oklahoma too, going after our conservative platform caucus, which, as you know, was recently annihilated. 6 out of 7 were knocked out at the runoff. So we're going to have a whole new set of stuff happening come next session. Oklahoma better brace itself, because your taxes are about to go even higher.
But I like paying money for nice things.
What nice things?
They're going to make them. They have all the money now. They're going to make nice things.
Okay.
It's full of Republicans, right? So they're going to make nice things.
Listen, more Democrats are actually Republican. Between DC and Oklahoma City, the Democrats are really Republican. The Republicans are really Democrats.
Yeah. Well, there were
But
Democrats.
no
There were
other
Democrats
ways.
that switched parties to vote against people like Bobby Cleveland. A lot of these people from the education union mafia, and a lot of these corrupt political consultants that want to turn the state purple.
Yep.
They pretend to be working for red candidates, but they're actually more purple.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate that conservatives are actually falling for that and not aware of it. Because I think what we really have to do is hit rock bottom before conservatives finally draw the energy to really fight this back. Like we tried last spring. We tried in the spring and the summer to fight this back, but we have to really hit rock bottom, and we hadn't gotten there yet.
How do you explain, though, that Governor Fallin is so unpopular, and yet the Republican candidate for governor is leading Drew Edmondson?
Mary Fallin got unpopular. Remember, she was popular when we were in a surplus. And then she got unpopular when she started saying she was going after our taxes. That's when the conservative base left her. Kevin Stitt is not interested in raising your taxes for frivolous things. Obviously, taxation is important. Yes, Frosty, we have to pay for things. But unnecessary and burdensome taxation is not where we need to be, and that's where we're heading.
So, yes, the government has to have money to function. And, yes, we pay more than our fair share.
Well, we have a constitutional mandate for certain things, obviously. Health department, we've got the education department, roads and bridges. There are things that we have to pay for, and we recognize that, and we don't balk at that. What we do balk at is when the health department comes to the legislature and says, we need $30 million right away as an emergency surplus, as emergency infusion to stay alive, to keep our benefits going, to keep our employees there. Well, then they get it from the legislature and still lay off 198 people and still interrupt services, only for a few months later. That was like November. And then come in March, we find out that $30 million wasn't actually gone, but it was hiding in something they're calling a slush fund. This is what has gotten so many people upset, Todd, is that they've lied and lied and lied. These bureaucracies in Oklahoma, these unelected bureaucrats who have no accountability at
And
the
you just
legislature.
kicked some of the hardest tax fighters out of office. I hope you know that. And this woman that just beat Bobby Cleveland for the Republican nomination, her answer to the problems with our prison overcrowding is we need to close the prisons and open up mental institutions because everybody who's in prison right now is mentally ill. That's how out of touch this woman is, and you just replaced one of the best legislators to put somebody like that in because she's beholden to the education mafia. Thank you, people in Cleveland County and Newcastle and Noble, and thank you for that.
Wait, there's a really good story about what's going on down in Cleveland County because the candidate for Senate, for Oklahoma Senate, is like Becky Maldonado or whatever her name is. She's actually a Democrat. She's the Republican candidate. And she had switched her party back to Democrat during the campaign. How is this possible? Because I'll tell you why. We have no party leadership from Governor Fallon down. There is no Republican Party leadership. If Republicans and conservatives don't get out this convention, this coming up spring, we have in February the precinct meetings. Following that, you'll have your county convention. Become a delegate, become a precinct leader, become a delegate at your county convention. Get to the state convention and change that. Elect a state party GOP chairwoman, chairman, that will care about where this is going. Elect Kevin Stitt, because he'll be the leader of the Republican Party in Oklahoma.
And I've got a really good choice for GOP chairman for the state chairperson. So I'm not going to say who it is. I'm just going to say
There'll be
somebody,
some good options.
Yes, somebody really good is going to be running.
I hope so, and I hope that people actually get out there, because last time when we met in 2016, I think that was our last convention, we have 800 and something thousand Republicans in the state of Oklahoma. 834 delegates, or 837, something like that.
Charlie's asking,
That's
has anybody
crazy.
been held accountable from the health department yet?
Not that I'm aware.
Not that I'm aware of.
And they didn't have to give the money back once they found it either, Charlie.
Well, I mean, they had Dorflinger resign.
Wait. Dorflinger resigned, but they also didn't hire back those 198 that lost their jobs. And they didn't get, the people who were receiving benefits didn't get back pay.
Yeah.
Crazy.
And as I said, it's important for you to vote. It's important. I mean, if you want to see this state turn purple or blue, then go ahead and keep doing what you're doing. If you want to see true conservative leadership, and I'm not talking about these people that are sellouts, then you better get out and vote for true conservatives. In fact, I would be more concerned about whether somebody is conservative than what party they belong to at this point. I am a Republican. I am a conservative first, however, and it's very important that you not pay attention to whether somebody's wearing an elephant suit or a Donkey Kong suit. You need to check and find out where they stand on issues, because this woman that is taking Bobby Cleveland's seat or running for that seat, she wants to put everybody in prison in a mental institution. I mean...
And she probably wants every one of your tax dollars for education as well.
She does. And that's, I mean, she was part of the mafia. The mafia, this education mafia that largely is from out of state, by the way. George Soros bust in tons of people. And we've got, we've got plenty here. And please, before I start hearing about how we're anti-teacher, stop it. That's a bunch of propaganda. That is demagoguery, as Ronald Reagan would say. Yeah. You're being a demagogue at that point.
Right. It's out in left field.
Yeah.
Of course we support teachers.
Do you have anything else?
Children. I'm excited about what's coming. I mean, I'm scared a little bit about what's happening here in Oklahoma, but I'm also excited about seeing that we have to continue to support Republicans in the House and Senate and D.C.
Conservatives.
Wait a second.
Conservatives.
Just a second, because yes, it's hard. I mean, at this point, we're already past the primary, so we've already got Republican nominees.
Steve Russell, Kevin Hern, and Mark Wayne Mullen.
And that is to protect our president, because let me tell you something. Maxine Waters and the crazy Democrats are only interested in impeaching, and really they can't impeach, but what they will do is they'll tie up 2 years worth of productivity, worth of
all of this stuff that I told you about today. It'll be undone.
It won't happen. Exactly. So tax cuts 2.0 is on the board. Do you want a better tax cut? Do you want another tax cut? How would you like that recent tax cut 1.0 to be permanent? That's what tax cut 2.0 is about. We've got to keep Republicans. Plus, we have to keep...
And they'll probably put the individual mandate back on Bamster Care if they are elected.
Well, and we've got to keep a Republican Senate to confirm good judges.
Right.
That is imperative. So if you're not already serving somebody who's running for Congress, whether it's re-election or even Kevin Hern who's running for District 1, please contact a campaign. You have a congressional district. You've got a campaign house close by. You've got a head office somewhere, whether it's Oklahoma City, Tulsa, Bartlesville, somebody. Get out there, support somebody, support a Republican. We've got to protect our president.
And Cleveland County is extremely blue, and Tom Cole is running in that district. And you know what? I know people think Tom Cole's going to win whether I vote or not. Not necessarily. Right. You got to be careful.
Same for Steve Russell.
There's that blue pocket. And also, you've got this Kendra Horn who's raising money. The Democrats want to undo Trump. And they would like nothing more than to take a red seat in Oklahoma and turn it blue. So it's vital that you volunteer for these great candidates. And Steve Russell, at some point, he's a friend of mine. When I was in D.C. in May, I met with his chief of staff, his communications director. We kind of huddled up. It was kind of like a House of Cards meeting. We were in the congressman's office with the door shut. It was awesome.
You're not House of Cards, please, no.
No, I'm just saying it was kind of like a scene out of House of Cards, except Kevin Spacey wasn't there molesting people. By the way, we haven't talked about 1010 double X, the big boobies lately.
Well, as you know, that bill has gone through.
Yeah.
It's gone through. The petitions were pulled.
I just wanted to throw it out there.
The taxes are starting to be collected. But last month, Todd, I don't know if you saw, but Ken Miller, the state treasurer, proclaimed that August was $995 million in revenue, which was a 13% overage from this time last year, meaning, again, for the third month in a row, those taxes were unnecessary and burdensome.
Yep.
And that's my spiel.
Absolutely. All right. Well, this has been the Wednesday show. We appreciate it. Make sure you check out the OTU Facebook. It's OTU Media on YouTube, so you can watch us on the big screen if you want to. At your leisure on YouTube, on your smart TV. And also be sure and join us on my page, the OTU page, every day. We want to thank our sponsors, WeFixHailFree.com, WeFixHailFree.com. And also like our Patreon account or donate to our Patreon account if you want to continue to see conservative talk right here in Oklahoma, because it has left the radio, folks. There is no more conservative talk in Oklahoma radio. It's gone. It's gone. It's gone left. So this is where the truth is spoken right now, right here. And we've got a lot of great things in the future planned for you. So make sure you join us. Back tomorrow, 3 p.m. Central. Brooke, thank you for being here.
Thank you, darling.
Good to be back.
Missed you.
Thank you, Frosty. And we'll see you back tomorrow right here